management, even here, the part of your appearing in your exams. So now each just go down. There'll be some theory from these topics like um, say use a situation. How do you handle it? Kind of questions could be there in the theory part. It probably is, or may give you a problem and then three answers, and then ask you to select which is the right and using least cost method. So you have to quickly down on a paper, work it out, and then select the answer. That could be the type question. I'm just guessing. I would focus on the concepts. Nothing going to change. So sure about and then be sure about the theory part. We understand the theory. Don't try to look for odd options in the book. So it's going to be say school level MCQ. I'm sure about that. So the school level MCQ, it's testing your memory capabilities than your understanding of the subject. So there will be some understanding based questions. So we're clear of this, and you can answer whether it's a detailed question or MCQ should be a problem. So that's very focus on that. See, because if memorize, then it may not help much. But if you understand, it will surely help in a format. So it's bring it from my own experiences. So okay, designing of operational systems and control. Going to see topic. So optional systems operations. Operations providing the service. In that, the process, the system used to uh, use and deliver, or system that's used to provide the service. How are you going to design it? What things you are going to keep in mind when you are designing it? And then what aspects? Control, as I said earlier, you plan and then you execute, and then check for variance. So this was the actual, these were the variances, and what these variances occurred, and how to fix it in the long term, so that if it's a negative variance, it doesn't come again, and if it's a positive variance, it continues as part of the process. It's no longer a variance. You build that efficiency into the process itself. How was that? Is control. Let's successfully operations. We design a system, whether it's delivering what is expected to deliver, if changes need to be made. There's three distinct topics. One is product design, and the process design. So product is what you are producing. Process, how you are going to produce it. It's process design. How are you going to provide this? Say Swiggy has a service delivery process. They just provide this service. So how are they designing this process? So the products you use, mobile phones, pens, pencils, whatever, ranging from pin to plane, everything is a product which needs to be designed well. And then life cycle. When you product, how it goes through different stages. You've already studied in BCG of a product. So Ansof's model has different stages of a product, infancy. Similarly, the same thing we are going to study here. So completed that, Professor Suresh sir completed that. It becomes easier for us to cover this topic to make it more say practical. this topic. Okay. So on product. Picture is to explain as designed. So what all goes into designing that bag? So you come up with plans. You may have to create some prototypes, try gaps. It's a development process. So people say release new cars, new bikes, a lot of research. There is a large research and development department, all the automobile industries where they are doing research day in day out to improve the product, to improve the age, safety, every aspect of it must be improved uh, to remain competition. So when someone produces a better product and they take the market away, then you are in trouble. So you have to keep innovating. You have to keep doing research. So that's the product design. It's not just the uh, it's not a one-time exercise for sure. It's an ongoing exercise. To send a message. Okay, so the three page must be around 30, 40 minutes. Please check. So process design, chapter 3. Product design. Let's do this. Once you know concept, then most questions or the entire topic revolves around the same concept. So product. When you're designing a product, what all you consider? So characteristics, characters of the product. So what a pen is supposed to write? You close it when not in use. You should be easily pull it in your pocket and carry it without falling off. So some of the basic characters, and if you want to elaborate, it should be easily refillable. If it's a and if it's a ballpoint pen, it's easily replaceable with a refill, and refill is available. So are the simple characters for a small pen. And smartphones today, they have tons of features. I don't know, many of us even use those features. Lot of features other than making calls, sending messages, checking WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. There is in the phone which not actively used. So these are the characters or features of this product. So you have to consider all those when you are designing it. And designing a product, it should be producible. If I create a complicated product, how to produce? Difficult. Say I have to custom make it every time, then it becomes difficult. Unless you scale it up, difficult to do business with. It's a nice product. You have a prototype, but who's going to it? So the challenge. So you have to design it in a way that it be produced in large numbers, and also the process can be set for that. Easily producible with right processes in place. And a production system design itself depends on the product itself. So procure material, storage, what product you're going to use, and so forth. And then it should have good quality. We discussed back about the quality of material maintenance chapter. When you produce something, if it's not from a well-maintained machine, then if product is bad, when your product design can cause that quality problem. So you have a very solid design which gives you quality output, which can say taken to the market, and customers can be satisfied with what you are given. And it should not be enormous. You have to keep in check the cost required to produce this to stay competitive. Fix a reasonable price, competitive price, get more market share. All these are possible only if you design a product which is cost effective. When you are seeing these phones, all these Apple phones are selling at 1 lakh plus, somewhere say the cost of production is less than 10,000. They're selling it for 12 lakh. Their production cost so low, despite having all those features, their production cost is kept so low so that they can spend advertising, spend on brand, and then spend on say supply chain, it available all over the world at the same time. All are very important for them. So cost in check is very important. So if the cost itself is say 60,000, 70,000, then they have to do all this branding and selling and distribution, and their cost will further go up. To get the profit they need, they may have to sell it at 200,000 rupees. Now the market share will further go down. So it's very important. And next comes the most important thing, customer satisfaction. We saw this as the primary objective of operations management. One is resource utilization and it's customer satisfaction. So use both. So cost, resource utilization, and customer satisfaction is the aspect. One from your point of view, one is from the customer's point of view. You have to give them very good product which performs what they buy it for. Which should tell you when you're buying a pen, you expect it to write smoothly without say in the writing, which be dependable, have quality, doesn't leak, it's reasonable for a reasonable time. All these are some of the features you will want in a pen, right? When you take a pen to an exam, new pen, and how it empties, the ink is empty. You will not trust that pen anymore because you need 3-4 pens like that. So you will depend on some pen which writes for 10,000 meters. They give the assessment, right? So on so. So customer satisfaction, all that, and then some aesthetics, how it looks. You also look at that. It looks neat, then you love it. Despite a bit more cost, if you find anything that is looking pretty, then you want to buy it. How neat it is designed, how well it is presented, all those are very important. Usability, of course, you have to be able to use it. And then aesthetics of it, the look and feel of it, how pleasing is it to your eyes and to your other people who are next to you. They should feel that, wow, you have a nice product in your hand. What is that? This is a sense of pride. And we talked about a pen in an exam. It must be able really. Functionality, it delivers what is expected to deliver. It should write. It should not, I have a fancy pen imported, looks cool, it glows when I'm writing, all that is fine. But at the end of it, it should write. That's very important. And continuous innovation, new features given, so people love it. Today, more and more, they are focusing on better sound quality, display quality, camera quality in all these smartphones. Because beyond the basic features are there. So you can talk, you can send messages, you can upload apps, all that is there. So beyond that, it's a processing power. So they keep talking about how fast it can work, battery capacity, how it will last for every full charge, fast it can charge. So that's very important. And they work on all these, yes. So they keep trying to improve the quality of the product. That can happen only by appropriateness. That is the product for right purpose. So that's appropriate, being appropriate. And we so much say, okay, understand you product will have some 10-20 pieces and you can it very tough. Once you put your head into it, you start thinking, I think you should be able to do it. Is then you may think like that. So advanced engineering actually is not simple. It is not straightforward as you may assume sometimes. So I'll give you an example here. All used fountain pens in your schools, right? Ink pens. So that one of the component is your nib, which is from where the flows and you write. Just the metal piece in that. There is also a wooden piece behind that. So there's so many parts. They have to think through and design this. Probably somebody has already created it, but if I want to improve further, give it a better, say, smoothness or better flow, I need to be innovative. So a small nib in a small pen, a defect. So look at any areas are designed, and you have to think through this. And if you take two different pens and check, you will see there are small differences in their nibs, and they may have some this. So in some of the pens, you will see some design in the nib, some few designs added to it. So I keep looking at how best to deliver this product. So that's important. Design is one of the important things. Say how your smartphones came in and how products who all felt that we have the best product in the world failed after that. Say your music players, your cameras, your alarm clocks went out. So, everything thrown away, and now it's just your smart everything. So you are very sure about what you're designing so that it lasts longer. And in the times, 5 years itself is a big deal because people are innovating so much. When you launch a product, they take it and then try to improve it further and sell it as a new product. So stay up to date. Be innovative. It's very important. Tomorrow will compete not on price or quality, but on design. So what's good? I already shared this with some of you. There is a song in one of the Tamils. It's a song. There'll be a large party. I don't want to sing that song here online. So that is a song. You can go listen to it. It happens for a fundraiser in a restaurant. So when you hear that song, listen to it. You will hear a lot of brand names. So these are your Virtue, Louis Vuitton. All these are famous names. It comes there. Louis Vuitton is one such apparel brand, design brand. Apparel may cost $3,000, $4,000. Conservative here, $4,000 in today's terms about 3 lakh rupees for a pair of shoes. So their value is in design, the brand they have built. They use similar input products as your other footwear brands, but still they sell it at that rate. And they have various apparels and then accessories, handbags, purse, and these sells in thousands of dollars. I cannot find anything in the hundred easily. Such a product will be at least 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, and so on and so forth. So value of designing it and the value of design that's added to the brand value. So for tomorrow, we'll compete not on price or quality, but on design, the design you offer. So what I do? I saw all this: address customer needs, refine products, innovation. So you already have a car in it electric. So refining the products to suit the market. Just the market, but environmental requirements, regulatory requirements. Again, all this you have studied in your 9th chapter, right? Your SWOT analysis, your best analysis, and then analysis. So many analysis we do to find out whether we last. If we have to last longer, what all we need to do. Products. So product is also concerned about improving the products. Address there are some needs of customers which are not addressed now. You add to the feature and the new product, and then reviewing the products. We are making electric, making it more aerodynamic, stable, accident proof, important, and then developing new products. So that's all important. Electric cars, solar cars, those are starting from the scratch. Self-driven cars. What are more new technologies? There are various new technologies available today. And you want probably check YouTube for new technology, new products in the market. A lot of ideas. You would have these automatic home sweeper. So there is a robo which, if you switch on, it will go throughout the home and sweep it. And again, it's pretty old, but I'm just giving an example. A complete new product of this age. And then there's quality targets. Not give the rush of giving quantity and product to delivered. If you not miss a quality, quality is very important. If your concern, whatever achieve the product is, it may lose its market. Whereas a very good quality, even if the price is a bit high, people are ready to buy. You see that in Apple, right? So, and then when cost targets, you may have to have continually reducing. You may have to continue to reduce your costs, the times to produce, because you have to stay competitive. You cannot keep selling the product at the same price. You have to keep innovating, add more features, and sell at the same price or increase the price. All these smartphones, what they are doing. And when you go to older phones, they are available at a very cheap rate. So you keep improve process, reducing cost and time, all the other resources required to produce. And then prototypes, samples, first time samples. So I create one model and it's working. Then I work to make it produce in large numbers. It's not I produce one unit of units with a smart design. Important. Again, I got television happening in food industry. That these Italian food, Mexican food, they addressed this mass production concern. Today, pizza they are able to give you, or pizza point anywhere they are able to give you pizzas, which is domestic product. It's an say foreign product, and they're able to produce it with a standardized process and deliver you within a given number of and or peas and doas and patis, are they able to do it the same way? We do such large chains, so we have not innovated much in terms of producibility. We have a lot of products, but we are not working on producibility of those products, mass production of those products. This is a standard feature in many of the industries, food industry from outside. Your food, they supply these large corn rotis. Again, it's a roti with corn, and the base for their burrito and rolls and all those they create. The thing we can do with our rotis, but we are not working there. So, can you chain similar to Subway or McDonald's? Is there a big chain, branded chain for India, especially South Indian products? Because a little more complicated. You have to create this batter and let it rest for the night. Then in the morning, you have to make pieces at a time. If it's dosa, or 10 to 20 pieces at a time if it's idli. So people have to work to this and make it into a super chain. To establish your lunch anywhere in the world with a huge intervention and less training and development requirement. So all are very important. So producibility of a product is very important. There is a lot of research happening there as well. And then you have to have solid documentation for what you have designed, how it works, and so on and so forth. So these are all processes of product design. And what are the objectives of product design? Say this is what product design does. When you talk about objectives, again, objective is to address customer needs, and the product design is to refine existing products. It's to develop new products, and to address quality targets or quality concerns, and so on. So the same thing. What it does is to address these objectives. Once you know the core, you can answer different types of questions. So influencing product. What I mind when I'm designing a product? Again, old stuff. Customers. Of course, something I need to address those in my product. Audience. I'll give you an example. Until Steve Jobs passed away, only a small phone, 4 some inches. So that he always felt that your thumb, when holding a phone, it should be you operate it with one hand, and you must reach all the four corners of the phone when holding it in one hand. So he produced it in that size, so it becomes very convenient to operate. Not the inch stuff, 8-inch stuff where you have to hold it in one hand and type it with the other. So that was the product convenience you had in mind. So similar various products are there when you're in your pens adding that say grip or fingered. So why are they doing it? To make it easy to handle. And you're sweaty, your exams, you are able to have the grip. So all very important. The operator convenience, whoever is using it. As well as production person. Using it should also have the convenience of producing it easily. Should not be harmful to them. So that's very important. Consider I'm producing it. Form. What is that it should do and how that it should look? Be considered when I am designing a product. Just sufficient it has the purpose. So cutting vegetables, you can even cut it with a sword. Why have a small knife? Sword also does the same job of cutting vegetables, but the function of cutting is important, but also the form, the ease of handling the knife is very important in a kitchen compared to in a field. So function and form is very important when you are designing stuff. Even this knife, there are knives for different purposes, right? So when you're cutting vegetables, it's bread, pizzas, everything has different cutters. Cake, it has a different cutter there. Shapes are different, and thickness levels are different, and so on. And what are going to be used? What is available? If you are designing a product based on something which is available in good quantity, then your industry will not grow, or your company will not grow freely. So you have to think of substituting that material something else. So redesign the product in a way that you are not using a restricted supply material. So materials used will also go into production design. Work methods. How am I going to produce it? So that's again when designing a product. Do I need labor, unskilled labor? All those will go on. Ratio. What profits and markup I need to have to sell it away. And if you can sell only at this price, then what should be my cost? Those are all selling at 5 rupee per pen. When I'm a new pen, I cannot sell it at more than 5. Something totally unique in the product that people will still buy it for 50 rupees. So what is that you're going to do? So that's very important. And the cost as a percentage of price. And the quality, very important. You cannot produce something that doesn't last long. Process capability. Whether this product will fit into my company's process method. My company is producing a lot of high volume items, and suddenly come up with a product design which requires individual production. Each and every piece must be carefully produced. That's difficult. So you need to do something based on production capability, process capability. as well. Spend a lot of money to establish a new production or production facility, bring in more players from outside, and so on. Products, am I creating a competition for my own product instead of improve my existing product? That's how we have to look at. And products, will it go and lose market, or it will dominate and kill the other products like the alarms, the radios, the Walkmans, the music players? Everything was knocked down by this smartphone. Packaging. Then you get some of the same. When in a square or rectangle form, it's easy to pack. So many boxes, packing of comes in huge boxes, rectangular shaped box or square shaped boxes. It's easy to pack and pack. The cylindrical, I have to have cushion in between, so it's not easy to pack. So designing, you have to think about how I'm going to pack it. Not how it's going to look, not just the shape of it, what the experience is. Uh, Even go and check iPhone packing as explained by Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs envisioned that people, when they buy a new phone, what is it they want to look first? They don't want to look at the wrappers and stuff on the top. They want to see the phone. As soon as they open the box, they want to see the phone because what they bought. Then comes all the other stuff. So don't load anything on top. So when you find just look at that video or try to find it and just chapters. So in my list, I'll try to find it and add it so that you can easily take it, cut it. Again, I'm going to repeat the same thing. Characteristic of good product design. When it's a good product, it will perform as expected. It provides functionalities. Why I bought this pen? It should write. I should easily be able to create. All those comes in. And how it looks, the aesthetics, the pleasingness of its look, ability, maintainability. So maintainability is again very important. I should be able to service the product and use it for a long time. It's like once I used it, I should throw away. Probably a 5 rupee pen is all right, but if it's a 50,000 rupee product or 20,000 rupee product, I need to be able to maintain it and reuse it. So that's very important. Availability, when I need it, be available. So with that AR and MTBF in maintenance, meantime to repair, that's maintainability. Meantime failure is the availability. It's performing between two services. That's very important. And then it's produce the product. Then how the product is it too complicated to understand, or it's pretty simple, straightforward? Standardizing the product, because when you want to sell in large quantities, you need to standardize it. If it's different shapes, size, taste, look, or everything is different, then it's going to be tough to produce. If it's standardized and people still love to buy it, like your phones and your smartphones, what they are doing, good. It should be standardized. Specifications, all the features, you have to have clear specifications of what are all the features available, how it's useful, and so on and so forth, and the safety of it. So all very important. So same usage, it should not be sharp edges, should not be there. Feature design, they'll keep showing you soft edges, no scratches in your head, and so on and so forth. So these are all good characteristics. When it's designed well, these will have its characteristics. Now, if you have any questions, I'll give you a product design. So the second part of the chapter is what is design. To design the process that produces the product I'm making. an assembly line? Is it going to be uh, else? So is it going to be a shop floor or workshop type? What does it want to do to produce these products? The second part. So is of a paint product line. So they use raw material from different all chemical go and to production. Then they add the color pigments. Depending, it could be color, blue color, base colors are then sent and then mixed, and then it's filled into tanks or boxes, containers, and then packed and sent out. So this is a simple process design. Similarly, we'll see what process design are available and how we produce it and so on. So how to do it, depending on need and all that. Something happened. PowerPoint not moving. Okay. Process design. So morning we just talked about it. This is a way you all understand, right? What is he making? This kid is making a pizza. So takes the dough, flattens it, adds some sauce, and then toppings, and gets it ready. Keeps it oven, waits for some time, heats the oven, waits for some time, and then takes it out, and that's it, and eats it. So that's the pizza is made. So this is a process of making pizza put into a process diagram. Now, is this large scale manufacturing happens? Frozen pizzas are produced, right? Now, OMSM has its own frozen pizza line, and they sell it through a retail name, the retail wing of the Hudson. So they send these frozen pizzas to all the retailers where they hit and give it to you. It's almost 80% cooked. Send it through your standard ones. It comes the other side cooked, and then they deliver. Uh, can a product process like same methodology? So look at pizzas they are making every day. There are companies or industries in the US which make lakh pizzas every month. So we use the same process we saw here. Uh, Prepare the dough, roll it manually into a shape, add sauce on the top manually, add toppings. No, it's not going to happen. So when you add this process, it's completely automated, right? So there are pouring, and then the pizza is automatically mixed, flattened, cut, all automatically. So a product needs to be designed based on what and how much you are going to produce. It's very important. What are you going to produce? What is the demand? Based on that, you have to design your process. Another example, street corner chips manufacturer. So a hot chips shop. Where he cuts, peels, say plantain or potato, and then slices it, puts it in oil, let it drain, and then into a pack, seal. A large manufacturer of chips, say somebody like uh, with the same process. They don't have that. It's going to be quickly automated, right from selecting the vegetables and cleaning it, slicing it. It's going to be completely automated. So, how the process design works, and you have to design your process based on your needs. It's not standard process across all the companies. Each one will have their own design and are spending time in designing their process so efficiently that long term it starts paying off. your cost of production is low. Think about this process which is completely automatic. You would have spent, say, a few dollars on the machine, but after that, your running cost is going to be a lot less. Running cost is going to be a lot less because it's all completely automated. So people design processes for the process. What's end with? What address? So design for rendering or producing the product. You have to design both. Say again, product is done. So how they operate. So they say point and deliver it at the other point. It can be thing. It need not be just food. You can buy vegetables. You can and snacks. What you prepared. If you are have aunt who has prepared snack, she can see you through Dunzo. So Dunzo is a totally different idea. So people from moving around, they just pick up and delivery. Does it, but these people do it real time. So they come pick it up from your home and directly go. There is no consolidation, distribution, and all that. There is restriction, and then they take it and deliver it to your directed recipient. Also concerned with volume of output. It's a small quantity you're going to make. Your process could be different. We saw both in the pizza example. If it's large volumes, then your process must be completely different. Available machines. One standard machine is available. The next can fabricate a machine, a new machine that can handle volume. Then you are good. When you design such a machine, then you are good to use. So some those things. Till then, people are making it with hands, or somebody who's worked and release prototype of that and they will it. So to reduce on labor, you can get it and then start coming with those process. Machine and special or general purpose. What the concerned with? Is it for particular product, particular type of delivery, or to be general produce anything in this service line? So it can take fuel or plastic injection molding. Yeah, molding machine for plastic. So it is plastic molten plastic into a mold. You can keep mold there. You get a bucket. If you keep a bottle, you get a bottle. So cup, you get a cup. So that's a general purpose machine. What is that you have? Cost of these machines. Are you ready to spend a lot of money in building these machines, buying these machines, or you want to buy something cheaper and then use more labor? If your labor is available sufficiently, so that's another question. Do we have this kind of labor easily available? Skilled or unskilled labor availability in the market? Who's required for you? The ongoing expenses of producing it. If it's exorbitant, then your price will also be exorbitant. You have enough in the capital, say the initial capital, and your running costs are low, then it's better. So, or if you don't have enough capital, you can buy some cheap machine and then spend a bit more to produce. So those are your capital intensive. What is it you are going to do? Capital intensive, then number of people required day to day is going to be lesser. Why if it's more labor intensive? And going to make and buy in some of the operations other chapters. So make components and then assemble it, or should I buy these components? Car, they don't make everything. Probably engine and the overall body design is theirs. There are different companies. Different. It could be gears, tires. Everything comes from different suppliers. They just assemble it and then send it, and then they'll handle it. What move material? Again, we saw this in this layout. Do we move material from one place to other. If there is a lot of material movement, maybe more costly to produce. And if it's very well designed with little manual handling, the process is all automated, then it to produce in large volumes and with wastage, reduced uh, errors, all these are possible. So the design, what does process do? Process, again, of this in the operations planning part. So capacity you need to have in the processing, and then to lay out your facility to reduce movement, action, all that. What equipment are you going to use? And the overall work system design. So different equipments, how are they going to be connected? Is it automatically connected through conveyor belts from one place to the other automatically? I think I've shared some of the standard my handout, OMSM handout. I think I shared of some standard equipments used in the uh, process. So something like a chute, gravity chute, or conveyor belt, and then forklift trucks. How am I going to move from one place to other? Is it going to be automatically connected? How am I going to design it? So that's one part. Yes, when I plan, why am I planning all this? I address this. If I have a product, I don't see much, but when I have multiple products, varieties, then I want to produce it. So, different products come in. So, is it going to be batches? Should I make a lot of changes between one batch and other? Or is it the plastic industry? I was earlier making mugs. Now I'm making bottles. So all I have to do is take this mold out and place other mold in. Is that all, or is it a bit more complicated? Equipability. If I'm going to make all these different products, if I'm just going to keep making more and more mugs, then I have to worry about uh, variety or equipment flexibility. It can keep producing the same thing over and over. If I need some variety, I put some changes to the product or new products introduced, then I need to think about how am I going to do it. Say for example, you go a bottled beverage factory. They may have flavors. So all they are doing is the same process. The flexibility is very good because just changing the ingredients a bit. Earlier mango flavor, then it was orange flavor, then it is grape flavor. I'm just changing the flavor. Other ingredients are almost the same. The sugar, the water, preservatives, all these are going to be the same. Just the flavoring liquid is going to be different. So to use varieties, the system is sufficiently flexible to handle all this. And what quantum am I going to produce? If you have been watching this history channel, discovery channel, and all this for free made, how it's made, and all that, you will start enjoying this chapter a lot more. So again, one tip on memory, I was the most accomplished person, excellent. So uh, I think participate out of these quiz type competitions, trivia quizzes, and he has won millions of dollars. So what memory is, you start loving something, then it will surely stick to your head. Even it will be difficult to put in your head, so you'll not be able to remember it. So start subjects. Again, one which faculty, a very old faculty of mine, Professor Varadan, told me long time back as a student I was with all your subjects or the entire program if you want to really clear it. CMA, whatever you're studying, if that. So your head turns when somebody says CMA. You only turn, okay. So I'm talking about the course I love. So you have to turn around. It's telling your own name or your something, somebody said that name, you're turning around. You have to constantly keep thinking about that course, ICMA and the topics in that. Keep doing, say it's just for years. You're going to be in love with that subject, all the subjects. Then you clear. We are distracted so much. We think about so many things. We don't give enough attention to all the subjects. It's subject. I don't like another subject. It shouldn't be like that. You have to like all subjects, love all the subjects actually, about all these subjects. So you have to look for opportunities to learn and keep thinking about it, talking about it. Whenever you get a chance to talk, you talk about these subjects. Whenever you chance to think, you think about these subjects. So how you are going to live with this course until you finish the final. If you're really doing it, then it shouldn't be a problem. Please, I'll try in the I have there prepare exams, success in exams. Moving on, process section is needed before starting production of new products or new services. Whenever you're going to start new product, you have to design the process properly. Otherwise, you'll not be able to produce well. In the quality, all these will be compromised if you don't design it well. So, providing new services, you have to do it different. So, you design it first and then deliver it. There will be some continuous improvement happening, which you will see in chapter 6, I think, productivity and quality. And keep happening. But as far as production process design goes, it should be done ahead of starting the production. Okay. Strategy. Strategy, we'll see what is strategy. How am I going to do something is my strategy. So, say, what support, how much soccer or football, how many going to have, how many midfield, how many defenders I'm going to have different games, different opponents. That's a game. Similarly, strategy, how am I to handle process. So, am I going of the components or produce it in the process or just build it in the process? What is it I'm going to do? I tend to build process. So it's the machinery, all the components I need to buy. Am I going to buy all the components and create this factory? Or I'm going to have stack processes, workshops, good from one point to another after being completed. How is I going to design it? How much money am I going to spend in this overall process? That also decides how the process is going to be designed. We saw earlier too. And then how flexible it should be. Am I going to add a lot of variety or is it going to be just one or two type of products I'm going to sell with minimal variations so that it's easy to produce in large quantities? And in what you want to do, there is process for process. One is product first. I'm going to produce, and then the entire process around that product. There'll be example in the next slide, I guess. So to that, so it's a product focus, and then repetitive focus. I'm going to do it in batches with small variations, as I mentioned in the beverage industry. For this cola flavor, then they come to some orange flavor, then some lemon flavor. All these they keep doing repetitive, and then process focus. Now I'm not focusing on the product, but I'm more focusing on the process. I'm going to do something because my variety is lot. There is a lot of variety there, which I cannot predict, but I'm going to depend on my process to produce different variations of the product or different products people are asking. Say, versus think of some pani puri, for example, or some product shop. You go, you just keep getting this. He just keeps selling samosas or some thing. There are some places where they specialize in one product. They keep doing this more and more and more. Production focus. Their product is process is so streamlined that they produce thousands of vada fascinating. As you go to a specialty restaurant, they'll give anything you want. From their menu, they'll be ready to give you. Their menu will have about 500 different items. So depend on the product, but their process. How is it going to be handled? How are we going to cut the vegetables? How are we going to prepare the dough? How are we going to cook it? How are we going to serve it? These processes. It's based on product. Any product they make, they have to follow these processes. So that is focused. So based on, so more of the same product, it's product focused. More then it's depending on the process. You have to have a solid process that whatever the client wants, you'll be able to give it. Think of where they have different options. So they focus on the process. They cut the vegetables, keep it ready. They have options. So they bake it and keep it ready. Or if you want, they'll heat it and give it to you. Quickly, they can do it for you. So they depend on process because they are giving a bunch of these. It's a mix of some process and some product focus in a restaurant. Okay. Minute or two to start talking. Whatever we have seen already, more volume. This is also there in your book, printed a bit differently. So I'll give you a minute. Back. Process strategy, selecting a process. Taken for juice, juice production process. When there is a lot of variety, the top left corner you see a lot of variety. They want, they'll make it and give you. So you have to focus on. They have to focus on the process of making it. How am I cure all these different foods? How am I going to get ready? How to serve it? How am I going to prepare it? What all process to follow? Some requires squeezing, some requires using a juicer mixer. So what I'm going to do it? What ingredients I need to buy, keep ready. That goes with all this. And then when there are examples as well. Printing, when you want to print, they process. It's not a product because every a new book is to be printed. They have to set it all ready, then run the printing press and then get it printed. So it's more process focused. Carpentry, they get anything you want. They can make any furniture you want, but they depend on the process they have: cutting, shaping, that. Variety, not that much, fewer varieties. Then I can use in batches. Cars, bikes. When you go bike assembly line, uh, say they are producing, say go to a line. First they are producing uh, proper, then plus, and so they are producing different varieties of the bike. But it's first they run a batch and then they start the next batch, or a car assembly line. So as Honda Brio, Honda RV, Honda CRV, there are so many Honda cars available, right? So they produce all these batches. So in this example, the juice seller, they have 4 or 5 varieties of juices. Every batch they produce a different variety and then sell it. Process. I'm just producing one type of juice. It's a factory which keeps producing more and more and more of the same process. Juice, it's not necessary that it should continuous process, whereas steel, glass, or clearly process. When it's steel, I just producing same steel rods. I keep producing rods for a long number of and I produce the same product, and then I send it out. So I'm focusing on only one product line. Process first, where a lot of variety needs to be given. You be sure about the process you follow. It will be running in batches, so midway into volume and variety. And low variety, then use a control process. Keep producing same thing over and over. For fewer variety, less quantity, you should be using. When it's fewer, again, there is variety, then you don't even run this business. Move out. So not quantity, not enough variety, then people not even come to you unless you are a super specialist in something. A monopoly there. Volume, very high priced product you are selling, people may come to you. And then end of the diagonal, you have process focus or product focus. When you have high volume, when I have to produce lot of product, high volume of the same product, then it's process I need to focus on. I need to focus on we're going to design it so that I can produce it in large numbers. So bad process. So the process, I get a job order for 10 chairs, 14 tables, I produce, or I ask the order for 3 apple juice, 4 juice, then I do 10. But when I get a job, I do it. When I have multiple say flavors of the same juice, I use a batch. It's a continuous process when I'm producing the same thing over and over. Now I'm producing the same thing, continuous process. Somewhere in is the repetitive process. So job process, then there is a repetitive process where you produce in batches, not that much of variety, even your variety, then I can follow repetitive process. That's why I put it in between these two. And this continuous process for large volumes of the same. And then project work, which is not scale production of anything, but can say this very few variety, very less quantity. You should project focus, building a bridge. Action company, I may not build 1,000, 2,000 bridges every year. I may build 1 or 2 bridges. So bridge again, no unique variety. The same I'm going to build fewer customers, less, but it's just a complicated process with multiple sub-processes. So I run it as a project. What you in your PERT, CM, network diagram, and all that. That's your project work. Buildings, apart or your towns, all these are large-scale projects. You need to run it as projects. Different types of processes as well. What all we have covered in this slide? Different types of focus, process focus, repetitive focus, or product focus. Different types of making type processes, whether it's process, batch process, repetitive process, continuous process, or project work. Where what will be applicable, that also we have seen using this example. So we have variety, fewer many variety. The more the varieties, we are focusing on process. Similar axis, You have one high volume, and it's high volume, you focus on continuous process. Beyond this is also part of this material. There is a theory section. You can read through it. So after you understand this. So which take product cycle. Any so far? Questions? Okay. Product life cycle. When you launch a product, it goes through a cycle, which you've seen in your BC matrix, Ansof's model, and so on. The product, you research, introduce a product, very slow, start picking up, it'll go drastically, very fast, it'll grow, and then it go mature stage when the volume stabilize, very high volume, and it stabilize, and then the demand starts declining. The revenue also will start declining. Revenue. So time initially it will be introduction stage, then it grows, then it matures, then it starts declining. And this is your revenue potential. So as soon as you start selling your first few units, you make revenue, but it may not be profitable until after a while. And then max somewhere during the maturity stage. Growth is a lot of profit because you are a new product, problem monopoly, you can keep a lot of profit and sell it. Then competitors start coming in, your product gets fixed volume because, but you have to reduce your price, so your profits go down, and the product sunset. It transforms, so not necessarily always dies down. It takes new avatar. So that's important to remember. So content cycle. So it keeps going on and on. So then some search will keep happening. They reinvent the product with some more features. Then launch the product. It goes through this own cycle and then comes down, sunset. Then a new product, newer version of the product takes off, and so on and so forth. So your product life cycle. So then the product grows, matures, declines, and the profitability is very low in the initial stage. But you make a lot of profits. Maturity, it is but starts going down, and the decline stage it starts becoming a loss. By then you should have come out. So differences you would have seen in the strategic management chapter 9 life cycle. Okay. Published by Apple. Phase, maturity phase, and decline phase. These are published it. Impact smartphones on iPod and digital camera players or Apple phone users call the iPods. So music you can buy that. You don't have phone, just music, and you can do browsing and all that. You cannot make calls. That's the only difference. Buy an iPod and then discuss what happened to these blue phone sales because a new product, a complete product came in and it's going up in terms of volume. Your camera iPod started falling. So cameras, they were there for a long time. Digital cameras were there since 1999, and they kept growing. This early 2000s, a lot of people bought it, and third 2000s, and started declining after smartphones. If that the smartphones were launched somewhere around here, 2007-8. That's when it came in. 7-8 is when Google, Android came in, iPhone came in, and then they started picking up. Phones were going out and smartphones were coming in, and with the growth, see, red product life cycle of device, green is the product life cycle of your music players, and the blue one was impacting this life cycle. other longer life cycles, but because smartphones were launched, their life cycle got shortened. Think which was launched in 2002 and 2014. So 12-year life cycle. A century, some product launched will have a life cycle of decades, 40, 60 years or longer. So they'll have longer life cycles. Whereas today, technology-based products, they have very short life cycles. You have to keep innovating it, otherwise you will die soon. So as with films, had a long life cycle, but keep reinventing. So a large empire called Kodak died. Blackberry phones, then they were the most secure phones. Then iPhone and they killed uh, Black completely. All these messaging apps. BlackBerry was known for its messenger, BlackBerry Messenger, BBM. But now, after the phones, everyone had their own messenger, secure messengers. So people did not care about BlackBerries anymore. So early 2010, 11, 12, they were there, but after that they died down. So even now they are not able to get. BlackBerry was one of the most prestigious brands in the 2000s, 2010, 11, 12, all those times, or end of 2000s and early 2010 are very prominent brand. But unfortunately, they died down because of innovation, staying up to date with the market, all that. So now let's another example. Cycle of multiple life cycles. Life cycle starts, it stops, then the life cycle reinvents itself. The product reinvents itself and then starts as a new product and depending on and off. So we had large phonographs in 87. This was introduced for music, and then it was a phone in 1900s. Player was on a phonograph. Then it evolved. This came down. Say this cycle of a phonograph came down, and it's taken by a gramophone. The gramophone record players. 1906, there were some record players, electronic record players were there. And the is after 1906, the next innovation was in 99. You have 63. You have cassette players. Here it was record players. You cannot carry it around that easily. But then came the cassette players. I don't know if you've even seen a cassette, how it looks. So then came years compact disc players. So compact discs. I think I have one of this. I have some cassettes with me. I've not seen it in movies and in some shops, but I don't. I have not used these records. But I've used cassette players, disc players, because different generation compared to you all. Music systems, stereo music systems. After these, it evolved very fast. See, from 87 to almost 100 years, we had small changes happening. After cycles started shrinking. So it's very fast. 82, 60, 75, 82 disc players, and then 92 you had players which had inbuilt memory, and then MP Man which had MP3 player format that can play, and then in 2001 you had iPods first generation music player, Apple's player. This was again produced on Apple, so you will see a lot of iPod launches. But in between 92 and 98, there were Sony products available in the market. So were there players, were there small mini music players, were there people used to carry 10 songs, 20 songs. That's all it can carry. But still, they used to flaunt that your smartphone can carry a million songs, but still you play online, right? Uh, became this, and you saw in the previous slide that even these iPods are gone. all these iPod Mini and iPod Touch and all these were there. Those all died down in 2014 with a smartphone. It kept the entire industry of music players, exclusive music players. Now your smartphones are your music players. So you listen to music, you listen to radio, you watch movies, watch sports, everything's happening in the smartphone. So it's like I added the last part, online music, because it's and it's showing face. So it has not seen its sunset yet. I don't know how it's going to be played after smartphone, online music era. Probably of a song it plays in your head. They may come with technology like that. So you have a device attached to your hardware body part, and then you think something. This is augmented reality. Research is happening here. A device similar to a or a cool on. These are James Bond stuff. So Google with his Google eyes, right? Google glasses. Again, Google glasses. You look at thing and it's looking at. Is it a building? What building is it? If you're looking at, say, it'll tell you what monument this is, when was it built, who built it, and all that in front of your eyes. Inside your glass, you can read it in one corner. This is in techie movies, advanced, say like the Terminator type movies, are they cool gadgets with them, with also Goose, but they stopped production because of security concerns. They didn't want to release it in large numbers. But today, Google can do it. iPhone version of it, you take Google Lens app and click and tell you what you're looking at. You click on what building it is, that is, or you click a street corner, it will tell you where you are standing now. All and there's something, and that interacts with your brain. When you're thinking, it reads what you're thinking and give you an answer. You don't have to memorize anymore. So you wear your glasses or the days, however it's going to look like, or something goes to your ears, whatever it is. And then just you have to do is think what you want and tell you the answer to it. So that's where you're moving. So in that phase, probably this online smartphone music will also die down. You don't need a phone, you just think of a song, it keeps playing in your head. Multi-life cycles. We are done. Product design, process design, and product life cycle. It's a complete topic. You may have 5 to 10 marks coming from this chapter. So, but 5 least from this chapter. I'll give it for questions. Then we can move to the topic. We have half an hour. So let's look at the 4 or 5 minutes, which is strategic management. Introduction to strategic management. Any question share from your experience, from what you've read with the group? Please go ahead. Anything? No product innovations you have seen? +90 now, right? Wherever earlier it was just one variety, now they produce a lot of varieties. And and that's in a product they have done. Yeah, move on. Cell phones are they are innovating. What we 10 years back is no longer relevant. Everything is changing. So see, folks are still that they still use the traditional methods for say technology, some value for that uh, craftsmanship because say chit lockers, they're making it the same old way. So of electronics, electricals, all mechanical locks. It has its value because what provides this provides. So I'm talking about large uh, lockers where you are precious things. So they have to produce the same way they were doing so many years back. It's a product. Again, tradition expected now. So people producing the old things. So instruments, again, examples, they make the same way it was done 100 years, 200 years back. Of precision, all the layers. So you start watching these shows in produce this uh, every then his, I'll tag some of it to the playlist. You can quickly take a look at it. I'll screen screen through some of the options and then give you one or two bits to watch. Give it. So okay, so I'll open the phones are doing the rounds, of course. If you remember or know even what page are, they are just messaging device. People send a message and it comes twice. You would have seen in some of the comedies, if you see the 90s movies, some comedies had pagers. So it's for the game more. When they say something is handmade, it costs a lot more. It's very customized. Make it to order. Plates, called ceramic plates, weigh at $1,000 a piece. It costs 75,000 rupees. So it's craftsmanship. They have been doing it traditionally without cracks, painted, handing or hand painted, no machines in the process. And they say people buy it as a matter of luxury. That's why I asked you to listen to that song from the movie Go. So I released Telugu and song starts another. When you listen to it. Okay, so the next chapter, we may not be able to go through the entire content in next half an hour, but we spend time to understand the basics of water management. Say, right? So I want to win a game, particular game versus another team, I delay it. Whether it's cricket, football, team sport, there is a strategy that's adapted. As I said, when you are playing against a soccer game, they may have a strategy of more forwards, less middle field and defenders, or around less one or two forwards, more midfield and defenders. So that's why you are coming up with a strategy. What you want to do? Win the game. So goal, and to achieve that goal, you come up with a approach. You may have multiple options. I can say again cricket. Five bowlers, five batsmen, one wicket keeper. Have this as an item. It's one of the strategies. And then four, two all-rounders and a wicket keeper. And at the age of Gilchrist and others, so wicket is say you all-rounder wicket keepers. So they are also strong batsmen. On wicket keeper role, they can only be a batsman. So wicket keepers like your Gilchrist or and Quinton Park, they became that. So they dual role. So strategy, they started playing more all-rounders. Just have three bowlers, three all-rounders, one wicket-keeper all-rounder, and then four batsmen. So how you're playing, whom you're playing, where you are playing, all this determines, and what form of the game you are playing, all this determines what strategy you're going to adapt. So again, that's how the IPL teams are selected, right? When they bid on somebody, they buy somebody. Sometimes it is to play in your team. Other times it may be just to stop that player playing against you. The opponent team, my player not able to play his bowling, just taking him out. Or players are not able to bowl to him, so just buying him out, bring him my own team. So that's overall, you come up with a strategy, and what strategy to achieve? I want to eventually achieve something. So the strategy, and only one strategy to do it. Then it is just a process. There's only one way of doing it. Then process. You just follow the process. When there are options available, each own advantages, disadvantages. Then strategic alternative. You may apply one or the other. Are depend on many uncertain events. It's not straightforward. There could be a lot of uncertainties, and you think about all those because I may have a 11 team, but whom they are going to play in their team, the opponent's team, and going to have a mix of more forward players or more middle field. I don't know. So depending on all that, I need to change my strategy. So I come up with a strategy based on my understanding of okay, this is how Liverpool plays. So I have my players in this form. But Liverpool changes its strategy, may be affected. I need to quickly work my strategy as well. So to achieve objective, I'm going to come up with an approach. So methodology I want to put is to achieve that objective. That is your strategy. What is your preparation strategy? So say I attend online classes, I view all the YouTube videos, ask doubts, do study. Say I just do it on my own. I sit at home, keep saying, I understand everything, I do my things, I find it easy. So I do my own. So strategy based on their own strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. So you're working as a team, so you together with people who also understand and then study. And somebody's just alone. and doing it on. So you don't want disturbance. So you would have seen these kind of students in your school days, college days. So each own strategy based on their SWOT. You can learn more when you are learning as a team. Threat, if unwanted suddenly comes up, you waste a lot of time. All these possible. So strategy is an up getting to what you want. Strategy. So it be just classes or combined study or individual study or videos. It could be anything. Each one is a strategy to clear your exams. Or you may say, I want to manage my time well. That's part of my strategy. I'm going to stop using my smartphones. Or I'm going to install WhatsApp. Some of my students have done it in the past. For a short time, they'll say, I'm out of WhatsApp. Please don't text. And then they uninstall it. Similarly, Facebook, they uninstall the app or put the app to sleep in their phones so that notifications for many apps which keeps disturbing you every now and then. Put the phone in silence. The different time management approaches. So let's see. I told you what are different things in your text. So the present objective. What is that I want to get to? That right to win this game is an objective. I focus activities and resources. Play and how I'm going to play them. First, who's going to play next, second, third, fourth? Cricket. I have a 15-member team in a football or 18-member team, 2 substitutes. Who's going to first playing 11? And then will be the first substitute. When am I going to substitute these people? All these activities and are the players. All the two are put together to get to my objectives. That is a strategy. That's what I told you sometime back. Looking at this, not goals. I need to know what my goals are. What are all the uncertainties around these? So when I go towards the goal, there are uncertainties, and I have to make different decisions based on all these uncertainties. And there are people who are going to react to these. There are a lot of people we work with, so they are going to react to this. So my team made present objectives. I need to know goals to get to the present objectives. These are different ways the same strategy is defined. So I put it for you. So react. Your competitors react to your decisions. Do something, they also counter it with another decision. They come up with advertising. You talk about them in your advertising, they talk back in the advertising. That's part of these advertisements. You create a new version. All these eye toothpaste, people became more traditional. They wanted to do more Ayurveda. They were following this. Patanjali came and took over a lot of Hindustan Unilever, Procter & Gamble share. Then they came up suddenly with Colgate, Ved Shakti, and then Ayush toothpaste, or what is. So everyone's now launching their Ayurvedic version, traditional version of these stuff. So competitors react. Your customers react to your decisions. You use the process or you change the pricing. More people may come to you, or existing people may leave. That is react. Your employees react to your decision. You want to start a new facility. Now, because of availability of resources, you want to start your next facility in Amati, because the state government is promoting Amravati. I want to go and start my next business in Amravati. What happens? So my current is in Hyderabad and Chennai. I don't like it. They go to Amravati because they're settled in a tier 1 city. They are happy there. So react. Players react to your decisions. You want to go and buy it from 2 different suppliers. The other supplier is upset. So they your decision. So you have your resources and to put in action. You have to license to get objectives. You need to know what you want first. What I want to do, I want to clear CMA is your goal. You need to remember that first. On that, you have to take decisions. Everything is not straightforward. There are many uncertainties involved. So you make decisions. So I know my goals or objectives, and there are these uncertainties that come up with the process of getting goal. So on those uncertainties, I change my, again, cricket or football, cricket. When a player is playing, a batsman is playing, they may bring a bowler because he struggles against that bowler. If he's out, they change him. So bowler is taken out and another bowler comes in. The uncertainty, whoever is going to come, based on that I make a decision. So that is based on which I make my decisions. And I carry resource. I have 11 players. I put them to use, and these things or activities are performed to of winning the game. Or overall, and then to this decision, a lot of people will react. So bowler may be upset. The management may be upset. Could happen. So similar business, what is my goal? I want to become such a big company and I put all my resources and stuff in it. The competitors in the market, customers I need to take care of, employees to take care of, suppliers I need to take care of. All these are very important. So just remember, this is my strategy. How I try to get to my goal is my direction. So far we have been seeing say a sporting event or a game, but in strategy is a long-term goal of a company. Where to be in the next 5 years, 10 years, what I want to do, long-term direction and organization. I want to be in the next 10 years as I want to be the number one in the race. So that long-term. This strategy provides various advantages to the organization because I have this strategy. I benefits. So I'm able to do things way. I'm able to make every employee work in the same direction because we all know what the goal is. See advantages. There'll be a lot more coming slides. So a lot of advantages to the organization through giving resources and the chairmen. So the advantages that comes through the resources they have, how they put these resources to use, and how the outside world change all these, and how they decide based on those changes. All there. Am I doing all this? Why do I have a long-term goal? To meet my stakeholder expectation. Who stakeholder? My employees, my customers, my owners, the government, there are a lot of stakeholders. So I need to address all their expectations, their needs, and how I'm going to do it. That's what it's all about. So it's a long-term approach. It's not day-to-day. Day is operational decisions. It's not strategic. How many should I produce today, tomorrow? All these are operational decisions. It's not strategic. That's what we saw in operations management. We have now moved to strategic management. Here is more long-term goals, objectives, what I want to become, what I want to do. That you are so a bit abstract, but understand the big picture, then you will be able to understand all the small topics within this. You can even read it from my handout or from the book. You will be able to understand easily. So strategy, what are the features of strategy? It's a foresight. Looking up in the next 5 years, 10 years. It's a foresight. In certain events, foresight, and so 10 years down the line, how it is going to be, what the people are going to eat, what they'll do, the market, who are all going to be the new competitors, what are the new products that may come in, I don't know. But I'm coming up with a plan to somehow through all this and become the biggest company in the country. So that's your strategy. So mainly with long-term developments, it's not short-term, it's long-term focused. Same as your operational decisions, what you do day out. This is more term. With how customers, how my competitors are acting. If they make, I need to necessarily make a change. If the competitor is becoming better, I should also become better. So I need to keep monitoring what they are doing. How are they using my product? Are they changing the way they are using it? I mean, is there any competitive product coming into the market? That's how many companies are down, right? You're talking many companies going out of business because of these. So this they face. And then slow pins delivery, grocery delivery, everything is happening through apps. So it happens to the small shops in and around the neighborhood. They have sales. Otherwise, difficult for them. And then the roadmap for an organization. This is what I want to do. When you know very clearly, I told you, right, even the CMA, when you want to become a CMA in the next 1 year, 1.5 year, then it becomes easy to align all your activities towards that. Because they don't have that kind of focus. It's clear, you can easily go towards that. So is what is missing. So this could happen. People may call you for and people call you for a party. Say if you don't have a clear goal of clearing CMA in the next 1.5 years, then your action or your actions may not be completely focused. You may do okay 1-day party, that's okay. Okay, vacation, that's okay. You keep which are not going to help you get to their goal. So that is your. So we have a clear roadmap. What you want to do, then getting to your goal is very easy. Then measure your strength and minimize your competitor strength. That's very important. So how you brand yourselves. In case companies, they have competitors, so they have to focus on competitors as well. In your case, you don't have competitors. So competing against your own, what should I say, or your divergence. There are lots of distractions. So you are, say, falling for all those. So these are all impact you. So that for a company. So they have competitors. They have to manage the competitor and keep constantly looking at how they are doing in terms of their products, their profits, their market, and you have to keep addressing the challenge posed by your competitor constantly, continuously. Otherwise, you lose out in the marketplace. So years of strategy. It gives you a clear foresight into what into the future events, and that is a long-term focused activity. It is not short-term, and it again the fifth and the third point are similar. Competitor, working with a competitor, understanding what they are doing, and then they are not overtaking you or killing your business. And customer needs, addressing those, and then a road to the organization. We'll see further why we need all this. So addressing various things. A roadmap. When I have a clear roadmap, everything towards that in the company. So we all said this is what we want to be. We selling the maximum number of units, then sales team is going to work, how the production is going to work. I want to sell the best quality goods in the country, then the itself is different. My goal itself is different. I want to be the best brand in the world. Then the goal is totally different. It's not about quantity. It's about branding. It's about retaining customers. It's about building the brand. It's no longer about more quantity, but it's more about quality, brand. So your entire organization will work towards it when you have a clear vision. We'll come to that in a few minutes or in the next class. So what Now at 3:20, if I continue this topic, which is not uh, understand or not practical, because you're not involved in a business as of now. You're just reading it as an outsider. When I read it, I'm able to connect to it because been in this for about 40 years now. I understand what they're talking about, why we need it. But if you don't relate it to the topic, then it becomes difficult to understand. And to the end of 2 hour session, if I start talking more about strategy, it will be put deep. So let's say if you have questions, please ask me. Or even tomorrow is my session, OMSM, and we continue that session. So midway in strategy, but because if you look at it, this is not chapter. I'm yet to complete the slides, and we already have about 26 slides. We are in slide number 6. So there are a lot of slides in this chapter. So let's continue tomorrow. And questions, please feel free to ask it now. Okay, so trying to make it as practical as possible, giving you some examples. So if there, what we have discussed so far, product process, please ask. Okay. I think we'll continue tomorrow at 1:30. We'll continue to this chapter as possible. I don't know whether we'll be able to completely finish chapter 8 and go to chapter 10 tomorrow. We'll just give a lot more practical examples. Keep noting down these examples so it becomes in your studying, preparing for this topic. So you can refer to, okay, this is an example we used for so-and-so topic, because I've not put all the examples into it. Give some examples on the fly. So please note of it. Okay, you all soon. If you have questions, send it here or in the WhatsApp group or privately as always. And see